morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Heike, this is Lola, my little furry ragdoll assistant, and she's very chatty today, at least until I hit the record button. I don't know if she's going to stay silent now. Are you? Purr, purr, purr. Cuddle me, human. Welcome back to my channel for the first daily crafty chat of this week. I'm so sorry for bailing out yesterday, but really, I don't know why they need to use an industrial saw for, I would say, roundabout break included 7 hours on this construction site. I mean, what's all the sawing they need to do? But it really started to grate on my nerves probably 2 hours in. Yeah, wasn't a good day. But today they are very good boys. They've been very quiet so far. Nothing that has reached the couple of 100 yards over here. So sadly, the street I'm living on is really a good sound box because of all the high buildings. High as in 3 stories high. Honestly, it's not like we have high-rise buildings here, but it's a lot of apartment buildings, and all the apartment buildings are usually 3 stories high, and that really boxes sound in well and transports it really well, something my neighbor above me still hasn't understood. So when he stands on his balcony belting out his phone conversations to the world, I'm pretty sure half of my little town is able to hear that. We are on Main Street, so we are smack dab in the middle of everything. Anyway, I used the day yesterday to finish this painting. Surprise! This was actually not planned. The section I was working on yesterday was this one. And then afterwards I decided I really did not have the brain capacity and will left to switch crafts. Usually I would then switch over to knitting, or if I decided it was a non-knitting day I would straight go to stitching. But yesterday I just didn't feel like doing anything that required more concentration than sticking diamonds to a canvas. And then finishing frenzy set in, and I finished the whole last strip down here, and my laptop is of course in the way again. I need a bigger table. I finished this whole strip then yesterday on top of this one. So this was basically, this section was super quickly done. I think it didn't even take me 1.5 hours because it was mostly white. So once everything else was put down, this went by super fast. The other 2 sections were a little more confetti, but when I don't stitch anything, which takes up most of my crafty time each day, I actually have a ton of time for diamond painting. So I guess that probably, thank you cat, that probably explains very well why I basically breezed through so many paintings last year and don't do as many this year. When I first started doing the diamond painting theme of the month idea, I had actually the whole year of 2020 planned out. I still do, but I also had planned out what I wanted to do in the month for which theme, and I usually had put down 2, sometimes even 3 paintings, and I'm talking this size here, so not small paintings. Sometimes there was a small painting in there as well, but usually, you know me, I usually go big on my paintings. So that was my plan, and that would have been an achievable plan if the stitchy bug hadn't bitten me. And then, to add insult to injury, I suddenly decided to learn knitting. So that's why I'm now only placing a goal of 1 diamond painting per month on myself. I am trying to keep that goal though, because I really want to at least finish some of my stash. That being said, you have seen my unboxing yesterday, and I mentioned that I am sorry that I don't have a lot of unboxings this year for you. This is mainly the reason. I have a giant stash of Diamond Art Club paintings, and nearly all of them you have seen here unboxed. Those that haven't been unboxed on my channel are the ones I purchased before I had my channel, and for those I usually did unboxing posts on my Instagram. So if you are interested in that, I basically did pictures, detailed pictures of everything, and for me, typically long caption underneath the picture. Sometimes I had to shorten it because I used more words than Instagram would allow me, which is sadly very common for me. But if you're interested in that, I guess if you wanted to, I could also do a video showing all the licensed diamond paintings I still have in my stash. And yes, I'm only going to show the licensed paintings. I know there are so many unboxings of paintings from other shops that have now turned out to be unlicensed, and I really should have known that when I purchased it, because it is actually not rocket science to figure that out if you are even remotely aware what copyright is in China. If you know that, it shouldn't have been rocket science, but I basically, blissful ignorance, you know, blissful ignorance. I wanted the pretty pictures and never spent a minute thinking what it would mean for the artist who created it, and I'm very sorry for that, which is why I'm sticking to my promise not to make any videos any longer that feature unlicensed diamond paintings. And I know I have quite a few, especially from Evermoment, I would really love to show you, but I guess unless I went through the trouble of looking for the original artist, asking them for permission to finish the painting and show the painting, which I kind of suspect they wouldn't be happy about, because it still would encourage a lot of people to buy those. We all know that. Yeah, that's why I'm not doing it, basically. I know it annoys people, and I'm very sorry for that, but that's just how it is. I'm still going to do the paintings because I bought them. I don't want to trash them, basically. That would be very, very wasteful, but I'm just not going to show them on any social media because I don't think it's the right thing to do at this point. I'm still contemplating taking the videos down. I'm probably at least going to take the links out. I mean, I guess a lot of them probably don't work any longer anyway, because AliExpress changes a lot. But anyway, still thinking about that. That's a different topic for a different day. But we did finish this painting here, and that's what I was going to talk about. So let's show you the whole thing, starting up here. We have our little mermaid, and there will be a proper final review for this. And I will talk more about the mermaid up here in that final review, but just a quick recap for you. You know that I changed a lot of her face, arm and hair down here. I will put in detailed pictures of this part of her, because this is all like charted. It's only this part here. And you can basically use this as a guide if you would like to change your own painting. I worked with colors that were in this kit. I would recommend, because I checked and my kit was the one with the individually bagged diamonds in multiple counts, so not the weight bags, that you check your stash first if you have replacement drills for all the colors you will be using. For example, 963 is this very pinkish tone that I used a lot in her face and her arm, and it was mainly in her body. So if you get the weight bags, you might have less than I did. So check that you have enough of that. I would also check the 758, which is this darkish skin tone here, that you have enough of that, as well as 3855, which is the very light yellow here, and which colors else, the 783 and the 782. Those are the colors I would recommend checking first, that you have leftovers in your stash before you start changing the painting, or otherwise you might run out. So let's move on to her, because this is, I think, where you saw it last, right? Still had to do this section, and I did these 3 over the weekend. Yep. So this was when you saw her last, when we were about here. This is the finished red mermaid, and I have to say I really like her. I wasn't so sure about the way they charted her skin, but I really, really like how she turned out. She is pretty yellow overall, but it kind of suits her her entire coloring, so I'm not mad about it. It doesn't look bad. And her colors get repeated in this little... What's the English word for that thing? Huh. I don't know. The German one is Anemone. So probably the English one is very close to that. And then we had this whole part down here with the third mermaid that has a lot of glare. I'm sorry about that. Helps it when I pick it up a little. So the third little mermaid down here, she's a little darker, probably because she is in his shadow. Or maybe Mandie intended her to be a darker skinned mermaid. Why not? There should be diversity in the mermaid kingdom too, shouldn't there? And I know she has done this one very gorgeous mermaid which has this mocha colored skin. So beautiful. Have not bought it. Trying to stay away from it, at least for this year. So Diamond Art Club, don't discontinue it, please. I would be devastated. I think they have discontinued a few paintings I wanted to get. I'm not entirely sure. Does anyone know? I checked their webpage and usually they have the out-of-stock paintings on their webpage too, as far as I understood. But for example, from the Princess series, Merida, the princess from Brave, is missing. I don't know if is she gone? Because she was on my to-buy list and I just didn't get around to it. So I would not be happy if that happened. Anyways, so this is the whole painting, and like I said, I'm going to finish a final. I'm going to film a final review for this, and I am planning to have this up probably in August. I'm not entirely sure yet because I also still have to show the final review for the Jeremiah Morelli, and that should come first because I finished that first. I like to keep it a little bit in order. I have not picked off the cat hair yet. I need to still do that, but it was pretty close to midnight yesterday when I finished this, so I didn't feel like picking off cat hair, especially if I still have to do this video and a final review and a diamond painting theme of the month wrap up with this painting, and she will take every opportunity to get more hair on it because she can. So, and on more diamond painting news, it is time. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. It is time to say thank you to you because I am going to get a payment from YouTube this month. I think it's going to happen at the beginning of August, actually. But I've reached the threshold of being paid by YouTube. In case you are not aware how this works, there's a certain threshold I have to reach before they finally pay me. This can take months. In my case, it does because my channel is so small that the revenue from each video is pretty low. So I would like to say thank you to everyone who lets the ads roll, at least as long as it takes until you can skip it. I know sometimes there are unskippable ads in there too. YouTube decides on that. And I know that some people are very, very annoyed about the ads, but basically it's the only way to make at least some money on these videos. If I look at the split between YouTube premium users who watch my content and how much I make from them compared to the regular ads, it's basically less than 5% premium and all the rest is ads. So I really have to let them roll if I want to make money from this channel, and I want that because I want to have some funds to put back into stuff I can show you on the channel. And that's why I'm giving you this long speech, because I would like to say thank you. I'm going to get paid, I guess, first week of August. I'm not entirely sure, but I've reached the threshold and I know which painting I'm going to buy. It is going to be a big one. It's going to be an expensive one, but it is going to be one people actually have asked about, or not a painting they have asked about, but a shop they have asked about. And I decided to go ahead and use the money for that. And I hope you will like it. I know that... Oh, Kitty, no, don't start it yet. Please. We haven't gone through stitching yet and you're already doing your knitting thing. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know this is going to happen right now. The painting I want is sold out, but usually they restock very quickly. and I'm very looking forward to getting it. It's going to be a monster and it's going to be hell, but I hope that the result will be worth it. So thank you once again. Thank you to everyone who lets the ads roll. And I can promise you all the money I make, which again is really not a lot, but all the money I make will go back into buying more stuff for the channel. It's also easier to basically defend buying more stuff if it's money I made from the stuff I already bought. So I don't have to explain why I spent more money on diamond paintings that don't get done until 2025 because I have too many, if you know what I mean. All right, enough diamond painting. Let's move over to stitching. And thank you, cat. Now I have cat hair on my nose. And over the weekend, I told you I was going to focus mainly on the Chinese Zodiac from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and that's what I did. Initially, I had thought I would be able to also work on the Baby It's Cold Outside, but honestly, we completely wedged out on the couch on Saturday. I did not do a whole lot of crafting. I think I did a section of diamond painting, and I started on this dark red section, the lace section, but that's about it. I really just started it. I didn't do much about it, and all the rest, cat, I see you. And all the rest was done on Sunday, and then I didn't feel like doing more. Well, I knit on Sunday. I should probably say that too. So, cat, please, why are you starting to be annoying with my knitting before I even reach the knitting section? So basically, that was her butt pushing the stuff up, and that's her face pushing the stuff down. You are a pest today. I am mad at me because we didn't film yesterday. Oh boy, if you could see that look now. Yeah. So, yeah, I am completely lost where I was. Thank you, cat, but she's gone now. Taking a deep breath. So as you can see, we're halfway through now. Next month, the next 3 animals will drop, and that should be a quick one. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what the other 2 fans are going to be, because it seems like the fans are all going to be different. So the first one was this turquoise bluish one, and there's bamboo in there. I know it's very hard to see, but it's in there. Still thinking about outlining it maybe somehow, because it's cat hair, because it's really hard to see. They could have chosen a better background color for that fan, honestly. And the second one here, as you can see, is the purple one with the little flowers on it. And again, showing you a close-up of the lanterns. I added beads in the lanterns, of course, because I did that up here. So I decided to do that up here. And as far as I can see, the lanterns are also going to be different colors in each section, which makes sense because, as you can see, they balance the lack of blue in these 3 animals with the blue lanterns they put in here. So I think it's a good way to balance the colors out. And from the blurred out image, these 2 fans here look right now pretty much the same color. It's again this bluish turquoise thing, but maybe it's not. We will see. We will see. So I can't remember, what did I tell Rachel what the next 3 animals are? I think it was horse, goat, and monkey. These should be the next 3 that are coming. And is it goat or is it sheep? Because I've seen both, and I'm not too familiar with the Chinese Zodiac, to be honest. So if you know more, please let me know. And yeah, that's what I did. Plans for the rest of the week is to stitch on the Baby It's Cold Outside. And I have to kick myself in the butt today to actually do it. So, since the cat is gone for the moment, I folded this up good. So she's probably hearing the scratch of the needles and is going to be back in a second now. Oh, this unwieldy thing is really driving me nuts. So this is still my first side panel. I still don't have a marker in because the marker is always in the way with the side panel, so I'm trying to keep it away. But basically that's how much I did. 2 of the sections. I told you last time there were 3 left and my math was correct. There's 1 more left I have to do to reach this is the tip, to reach it down there, and then I have to knit all the way around to the other side, and we're going to start the second side panel. And once the second side panel is done, I can bind off. And I've made a decision about the tassels. I will make a test tassel, but I will go with the dark green. I'm not going to introduce a third color into this. I really don't feel like this thing needs a third color. I see you, devil. May I introduce you to my arms? How about that? So I don't really want to introduce a third color into this. I would like to stick to the 2 colors. And since the whole thing is going to be framed in this light green, I thought using the dark green for the tassels would be a good compromise if I'm doing tassels. But yeah, I'm going to do 1 for test. If I don't like them, I guess this one here has a new toy. At least as far as I've seen, if I use nothing but yarn for the tassels, which I'm supposed to do, then it shouldn't be a dangerous thing to give to her to play with. Because once it's cut into a tassel, there's nothing else I can do with it anyway. Right, baby boy? Yeah. Don't call me a boy, Mom. You're right, I shouldn't. Maybe the devil even is a woman, who knows? Anyway, guys, so as long as the diamond painting section was as short was stitching and knitting, that's basically all I have for you today. I should be back tomorrow with more of an update on stitching, and hopefully I'll be on the other side of my shawl as far as the knitting goes. I really would like to increase my pace on this, but every time I think about picking it up, I'm going, oh, nah. Which is not helping because I have so many projects I would like to start, but I'm not going to start multiple knit projects and then never finish anything. You know me by now. So I need to get this done. And I really would like to have my second finished knitting project. Well, it's actually the 3rd. It would be the 3rd finished knitting project. Wow. Kind of proud of myself. All right, guys. Purry McPurfer here, myself, are going to say goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you can spend a lot of time doing what you love and not so much time working. Wouldn't we all like that? You have cold, wet paws. What did you do? Did you step in your fountain? Yeah, and I hope you will be back tomorrow for more kitty shenanigans and crafty updates. Bye, guys.